Janome has just introduced the 454D sailing line serger. Now, this machine is a whole different type of serger than a traditional overlock machine. It has redesigned feed dog system, presser foot system on it. So let's show you a little bit about this machine, give you a good overview of it. As with all Janome machines, we have the telescopic thread stand. This machine is going to be really easy to thread. It's a 4-thread machine. We can sew with 4 threads or 3 threads on this machine, doing the real pretty decorative roll hem. We have the universal throat plate on it, so if we want to go from standard 4-thread serging to doing the decorative roll hem like you'll see on little girls' dresses or napkins, you can do that with no problem on this machine. We come off the thread stand into the inlay tension. I like the inlay tension system. It's an easier system. It's going to be a more precise system of controlling your tension because the serger is going to sew a lot faster than a standard sewing machine, and you need that flexibility on a machine. Everything is going to be channeled on this machine. We have the color-coded threading system. It gets into our tension. All we have to do is raise our presser foot up and it releases all of our tension disc in here. And that's something you don't get on every serger on the market. And that's critical of getting our thread in the tension like it needs to go. The manual is really good about showing you what tension settings you need to have on your upper and lower looper and then on your right and left needle. We can also help you with any of those settings over the phone or by email if you run into a problem or have a question. The 454D, we use a standard HA1SP needle. That's a very common needle system that you should be able to find in just about any sewing store, but Ken Sewing Center will carry all the different needles, all the different optional presser feet, because there are a lot of optional presser feet available for the 454D. A couple of things they have done on this machine versus other machines that's in their line. They've redesigned the knife system so it comes up just a little bit higher. We have more visibility of our knife. The big thing on this machine, it has an 8-piece feed dog system, and that is fantastic to have on a machine because now we have differential feed, but I actually have 8 places that those feed dogs, and they're a little bit longer than your average machine, and you've got the same width, so you're going to be able to have more surface area touching your fabrics. Most people using a serger, you're doing a lot of serging on different fabrics, a lot of knits, a lot of stretchy materials. Whereas those feed dogs are feeding, if I've got more surface area touching them, I'm going to be a lot better off reducing the puckering, keeping the stitches nice and neat like I want it. That 8-piece feed dog system is going to enable the fabric basically just to glide. If you're doing multiple layers like a top, a batting, and a bottom, it's a spongy material. You're not going to have to worry about it puckering because it's going to just glide right underneath the foot. They've also added a little bit of texture on the underneath side of the presser foot, and what that's going to do, that really assists in non-slippage of fabrics. We've got a little bit of texture. We can adjust our pressure. This pressing down on the presser foot here, and that's going to make a world of difference of all this presser foot touching that feed dog and helping to feed our fabric through with no puckering whatsoever. Another thing they've improved on the 454 versus other models is our needle torque. That's the life of any machine on the motor, having the needle penetrating power, because not only is the motor engaging our needles, it's also engaging a cutting system. So if you've noticed on other machines maybe you've used of it bogging down when you're using thicker material or machines under a stress or strain, they've improved that motor torque. So that's critical in cutting and stitching at the same time. Because we've got loopers being operated, we've got a knife being operated, we've got a needle system being operated all at one time. So we need to have a good strong motor in order to do that. On our inlay tension, all my thread guides are color coded so I can get to where I need to go. Now the number one thing I always get asked about a serger is how hard is it going to be to thread? Well, Janome has done a really good job on this as well. Our lower looper is the hardest part about a serger, the thread, and that is right here. There's an extra guide that I have that I can actually move down, and it gets my thread where I need to and line it up with the opening on our lower looper so I can thread that with no problem. It's a really tight area to get into. The great thing about Janome and the way they make their machines, everything is a lot more open on their machine. So I can also open my side door if I need to access anything from the left side, and I can open the front door and access anything from the right side. My upper looper is really easy to thread, and the needles are just as easy to thread as any sewing machine that's out there. I can disengage my knife here, and that gives me even more opening to see what's going on in here. And then I also here, I can actually use this to make my cutting width wider and move that knife over. I will have the universal throat plate, so I can pull the pins in the plate in and out for doing different stitches, because those loopers are going up over these pins in my needle plate, and that's helping form the stitch on a machine. This is really nice to have it being open when I want to keep all the lint. You're going to naturally have lint build up from your threads and what you're cutting. We can blow that out and keep everything oil lubricated like we need to on the machine. And then all goes back up really easy. The machine does have an electronic foot control, so I can speed up or slow down the machine with my foot just like any traditional machine. I can raise and lower the presser foot really easy right here. That raises my tension disc for my threading, and I'm ready to go. So now what I'm going to show you, just for demonstration purposes, I've got a bottom, I've got a small batting here, and I've got a top. So the likelihood of this slipping on a lot of machines is greatly increased, but not on the 454, because we have that 8-piece feed dog system. It's a longer feed dog, and it's going to really help feed the fabric, reducing any puckering, and I'm going to get a nice stitch. And you'll notice just how quiet it is. When they redesigned the motor, they've also included some rubberized feet underneath the machine to help keep the machine stable. It's going to reduce noise and vibration. I'm sewing full speed, and the machine's not hopping around anywhere on the top of my surface here. I've got a little razor on this side. Fed that through with no problem whatsoever. On the right side of the machine, I can adjust my stitch length and I can adjust my differential feed. The manual talks about several settings on the differential, as well as you can call us, because you're going to get our premium support package with any purchase from Ken Sewing Center. You have us for the life you own the machine. We're going to be here to help you troubleshoot, help you with any kind of questions you have on optional accessories or what needles I need to have or what's recommended for doing the types of material that you want to serge. The Ken Sewing Center is your authorized Janome dealer. We carry every model of Janome Serger, all parts and all accessories for the machine. We're going to be here to help you after the sale. We have more information on the 454D on our website. Don't hesitate to drop us an email or give us a call anytime. We'll be glad to help you find the right machine to fit your needs.